Janibek Alimkhanuly. Did I come close? How close did I come on Janibek's last name, the Kazakhstan favorite to win this fight? Alimkhanuly? I was close.
It's not that. I mean, if you just break it up, it's like a little phonetics. Alimkhanuly. But you know what, TJ, to make your life easy and mine, we're just going to call him Janibek.
Please. So Janibek is an outstanding amateur fighter. He is the favorite here. As you like to say, he's the A side. Look at the odds there for Janibek to win by knockout at -400 to tell you how favored he is in this fight. Again, there's your over-under at 7.5 rounds in this one. Dignum is a British contender, not much known about him. Dan, give me some insight for wagering purposes. Are we even fooling with those underdog odds with Dignum in this one?
No disrespect to Danny, but I just have to say that I don't see him having a big chance to win this fight. He's more of a boxer, more of what they call a cutie, not blessed with a lot of punching power. Coming to the United States to fight for the first time. I mean, he's motivated. He's excited because here's the one thing you need to know. You can measure how a guy punches. You can't really mention a guy's desire or his heart. And the one thing is, Janibek is not a guy that a lot of people are running towards to fight. He's a dangerous guy. Like you said, great amateur background as an Olympian for Kazakhstan. And he's a handful for anybody. And not that guys don't want to fight guys who are handfuls, but you want to fight guys who are handfuls that bring you rich rewards. And he doesn't bring a lot of money. And he doesn't bring a lot of glory. So he's a guy that nobody really wants to fight. Maybe eventually if he wins a championship or becomes better known and makes exciting fights that the masses see. But at the moment, nobody's running to fight him. Danny Dignum said when they got to him in the ratings, when everybody else turned down Janibek, he grabbed that with two hands and said, I'm in. And not only I'm in, but you know what? I'm crossing the Atlantic. So he's coming in a very motivated way to fight, even though Janibek is not from the United States, but he has been based here in terms of his professional career. So, and it's.
I was going to ask you, does he train out of California? Because I know Gennady Golovkin trains some out of California. Janibek from the same country. Does he train in California?
He's been training in California, but the biggest thing also is that it's a top-ranked ESPN card, so it's Janibek's promotion. They're the ones doing the fight, so he's the one that's the home fighter. Let's say the like you said, the A side. So I do give Dignum credit for being one of the only guys out there that is running towards fighting this guy. So you can't measure the desire and the heart, but ultimately skills pay the bills, as my good friend, the philosopher Floyd Mayweather, said many times. And Janibek has the boxing skills. He also has much bigger punching power, and it's hard to see him. He's been such a dominating fighter in recent fights. He's beaten some better guys than Dignum has. He's got knockout wins against former title holders Robert Brandt and also Hassan Nadam. Maybe they were a little bit older at the time that he beat them, but he didn't just beat them. He punished them and stopped them. To me, Dignum's a good, solid contender, maybe like a B-, C+ kind of fighter. Janibek's got a chance to be an A fighter. He's got the arrow pointing up on his career. And, we'll find out for sure on Saturday. But to me, this is a Janibek landslide.
We agree. We both think. You think knockout. I think knockout somewhere around the 6th, 7th round, something like that. Janibek gets to him. We'll see that up on the screen when we go to the best bets. But we both, for the prop purposes, are on the Janibek knockout. And again, the over-under is around 7.5 rounds on this fight. Be careful with that over-under. I might just go with the knockout prop. Forget about the round. Go with the knockout prop for Janibek, who should win. And again, that knockout prop counts on a stoppage. If he wears the guy down, the guy quits on his stool in the corner, or the referee stops the fight, it counts the same way for wagering purposes here through BetUS or through anybody else. One more, Dan, as we wind it down here on the undercard. Again, it's the ESPN Top Rank Show. Jamel Herring, former WBO junior lightweight world champion, a U.S. Marine, a great guy. He's on the undercard in the co-feature. I know you want to say something real quick about Herring's undercard fight that will also be part of the Top Rank Las Vegas show real quick, even though we don't have it graphically here on the screen. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking about off the air, Herring, it's a very interesting fight to me. Certainly in terms of the wagering, maybe even more so than some of the more wide odds on the main events that we've talked about. Herring's last fight was a knockout loss where he lost his title to the very brilliant Shakur Stevenson, who has gone on to unify titles in the 130-pound division. So that was last fall. That was Herring's. He had the title. He lost the title by knockout. Now he's coming back. He's moving up to the lightweight division, and a lot of guys would take like a real soft touch in this spot. They didn't give him a soft touch. They give him Jermaine Ortiz, who is not a well-known fighter, but he's a good, solid fighter. He's much younger than Jamel is. He's also a hungry, anxious guy to get the opportunity. He's been talking about how excited he is to test himself against a well-known fighter, a former world champion. That's always, these younger fighters, when they come up, one of the benchmarks is when they get the name of a former champion on their record, it's sort of meaningful to them. And so, to me, even though Herring, it's like he's the more well-known guy, he's the A side, the favored fighter. If there's, in my mind, if there's an upset special, if there's like a guy that could pull that upset, Ortiz, because of his fighting style and the fact that Jamel is moving up and also was stopped in the last fight, that's a spot where you might look at the underdog.
All right, good enough. Again, we don't have this up on the screen, but Herring is only minus 200, 2-1 to win. Ortiz minus or a plus 250. Actually, I have that backwards. Ortiz is favored minus 250, 2.5 to 1. Herring a 2-1 underdog for Semper Fi, the U.S. Marine Jamel Herring out of New York.
You're saying Herring is the underdog?
Herring is the underdog on the BetUS line that I saw at plus 200 here. So Ortiz. Okay. But again, that line could move as Friday becomes Saturday and the Vegas odds and money come in. It might move to a pick'em fight, etc. You might like a little tasty Jamel Herring underdog at plus 200. Value for your money there on that for the BetUS short-term investors.
That does surprise me a little bit. I thought Herring would be at least a slight favorite just because Ortiz is not a known fighter unless you're really down in the weeds watching undercards and smaller shows. And Herring has been on a much bigger stage for quite a while. I'm actually quite interested to see how that fight plays out.
No doubt. Again, that's the co-feature fight. The ESPN top-ranked card, again, begins right around 10 Eastern time.
No. That's an 8 o'clock start Eastern time. And
8 o'clock.
And they have a triple header. You're looking at about a main event probably in the, that 10:30 range.
I always have you to keep me straight. So the Herring fight, probably the 9 Eastern time hour. Adjust your time zone accordingly in the co-feature. And then Janibek and Dignum, probably in the 10 Eastern time hour there, ESPN top rank.